Glad you're here. My name is Lance. We're gonna give it just a few more minutes for some people that registered that haven't shown up yet before we really dig into things. But feel free to add questions to the chat, get a little comfortable here in the Zoom webinar. Let us know what you're here and hoping to learn today. And if you're up for it, drop your name, title, company, where you work, where you're coming from today. Who knows? Maybe your best friend is also in this webinar right now, or your new best friend. Um, so go ahead, drop that in. We'd love to know. If not, if you're shy, that's cool too. If you want to remain anonymous. Um, I am also kind of curious how many people on this webinar are lawn care versus landscaping. Um, Probably a good mixture of both based on the people that registered. You can drop that in the chat if you're interested. And just for some fun, remember, my name is Lance, and this morning I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I was trimming my facial hair, and I looked to my 4-year-old son who said, "Daddy, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm landscaping." Yes, that is a bad dad joke. I know Keely here, who's helping run this webinar, knows that I love the dad jokes. I was doing them, much longer before I became a dad. It was practicing, but yeah, that one I have some fun with. There's no doubt about that. I also, before this, I did this last time we held one of these webinars too. I used AI. I was just chatting with it, looking for some ideas for some landscaping or lawn care based jokes for today. Sprinkle in a little, angle of websites, SEO marketing, and it gave me this one. SEO is basically fertilization for your website. It smells weird at first, but if you do it right, things grow. And I don't love that, but I thought it was interesting. I don't think SEO actually does smell weird, but sometimes it does feel like, is anything happening? What you're doing some work and then it's like, are we gonna get results? And luckily, here today you're gonna find out, yes, 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 it is very possible, if you're doing a lot of the right things. All right, Keely, how are we doing? Should I start? The first couple of slides, just so you guys know, are just a little bit about me, so you become comfortable with this guy talking to you on screen, a little bit about our company, and then we're gonna try to make this the most valuable hour of your December. Now, I'm sure you value Christmas with your family, but I'm talking about like business wise. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Keely, right? Like, I think we're all looking forward to Christmas. I sure am. There's a ton of snow where we are here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but apparently there's going to be a meltdown, and I don't know that we're going to get snow before Christmas, which is like kind of a big bummer. It's like I want all of this snow here on Christmas Day.
Do we
You know what I'm
actually
saying?
think it's gonna completely melt?
I don't
I
know.
don't
It's
think
going to get
so.
into the low 40s for a couple of days, so I don't know. That's probably enough to. I don't know. There's a lot of snow out there. We've probably
I'll
had
take a
20.
little bit of melt. I'll accept
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. All
But
right.
yeah,
I
I
think
think
we've.
we can get started.
All right. Great.
I'll be monitoring for some questions as they come in, so feel free to ask. I know we have some local friends joining from what I can see from the chat, so that's nice.
Yes. Awesome.
Uh,
Love that. Love that. All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna get started here. And this is our friend Craig from Green Side Up Landscaping here. I just wanted to put this out there because if you're at this webinar, you've never heard of us, you just signed up, you're like, sure, I'll give it a shot. Yes, we do work with lawn care and landscaping companies, and we do get great results. But today is not a sales pitch for working with Avalanche Creative. It is sharing everything that we have learned working with quite a few landscapers. So let's get into it. A little bit about me here. Love to make things a little personal because that's what we're all working for, right? Is to, enrich our lives, and there's some kind of goal here. So this is my wife, Rayanne, who's actually a co-owner of Avalanche and really helped me to grow this business over the last 5, 6 years. We have 2 kids here and one small 10-pound dog. So this is kind of me by the numbers, so to speak. Um, a little bit about Avalanche here, and we had some fun. Keely here actually used AI and took a team photo, and this is actually our holiday card. So we figured it'd be fun just to like show off our team of 12 people here in a cute little cartoonish way. It is a picture of the team. We are fully remote. I think we represent 4 or 5 states, but we all get together for a week every May just to come together. We have 40 clients. I've been in business for 10 years. And while we don't just serve lawn care and landscaping companies, it is the most well-represented industry that we serve. Um, and just to kind of put a bow on like who is Avalanche Creative? What do they do? We're a website performance marketing agency. So what we do with a lot of our clients is we take ownership of the website performance and build trust signals that make you the clear choice wherever your customers are searching. Um, we are taking on new lawn care and landscaping clients, and winter is the absolute best time to start because we can really help position companies to have a strong spring. So just wanted to put that out there before we dive in. All right, let's set the tone a little bit here. This conversation is a lot about SEO, but it's not just SEO. Um, but I want to make sure we have good definitions of it. So, done well, search engine optimization can be a lever of growth for your company that is insane. Um, and what it essentially is, if we just want to like make a very simple definition, is working to make sure that your website shows up in search results for keywords and searches that are relevant to your business. So this screenshot right here is of a local landscaper that we've worked with. And essentially, this is actually a proprietary tool that I'm building, and there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of numbers, there's a lot of squiggly little lines here, but essentially, let me tell you the story. Add, edit, outcome. We have consistently added and edited our way through this website, doing the same on Google Business Profile and other off-site factors to influence their authority. And what it has done, what it has contributed to, is the outcomes they care the most about: getting more phone calls, getting more lead forms, to the tune of increasing over a 2,000% the year before. And you don't need even a ton of traffic for that. You just need the right traffic. I'm telling you everything, at least the meat and potatoes of what we did to get this landscaper there. And so you can kind of see this timeline. Like we're consistently doing things to this website to make sure it remains upward and we're increasing the things that matter the most, not the traffic, not the rankings, the outcomes, generating leads. So what I'm about to teach you will help you do the same, and truly it has the potential to change the growth trajectory of your business. We just found out this client here is growing revenue this year by I think over 20%, and they told us to our faces that like it's because of the work that you guys have done. So if you want to remember, want to keep it super simple, add, edit, outcomes. That's what's going to happen. Quick agenda. A lot of our time is going to be spent on how to create a website service page that attracts and converts. Then we're going to spend a little bit of time at the end going through 5 quick SEO fixes for improved visibility. And then finally, 10 proven do's and don'ts to attract qualified leads. As we go through this, feel free to ask questions in the chat. I'm going to remain focused on presenting this, but Keely is here to interrupt me if she feels like the question should be answered before I move on, or she will save it towards the end. But do not be shy. Um, Feel free to take notes, but at the same time, I think we are recording this, right, Keely? Yep. And we'll send this to you as well. We can even send the slide deck. But let's get into it. I want to race to value here. So, how do we create a website service page that converts? First of all, this is just a sample of a really strong service page for a lawn care or landscaping company. But this is one that we worked on. And what's interesting is even as I go through this, there are things that as I'm taking a fresh look at this, I'm even saying, oh, this is how this can be better. And that's something I want you to remember. The work is never over. It's kind of like, oh, a little bit of a bummer that when it comes to marketing, it can never be set it and forget it. But if you want to get great results, be more visible, be more well known, and be an authority in your market, the work's never over in creating a great experience for your target customer. And When you do that, it's a game changer. So I'm going to break down this entire page and why each section is crucial to you showing up in search results, whether that's Google, that's AI, even YouTube. We don't see a ton there, but it can be a bit of an influence and other search engines as well. But most lawn care and landscaping companies we work with fail at building high quality service pages, and it costs them significantly. When we get a new opportunity, when someone comes to us and says, "Hey, I'm interested in your work," Keely and I are the first ones to run to their website, and that's the first thing we do. We just look at their service page and go, what's been done here? Is this in good shape? Most of the time, no. It's lacking, or there's literally only one page that says services and just lists them. It tells us right away there's a ton of opportunity that they have missed. So, if you want a service page that grows your business, you need to start by not thinking about what it's going to do for you, but what it should do for your potential customer. Google understands what local intent is, and local intent is essentially clarity that somebody is searching for a local service. So sometimes people make it clear by searching, something like in this example, mulch installation near me or Grand Rapids. But I just typed in mulch installation and Google knows I am in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So it shows me those results. Google wants to recommend pages that match the desired need. You can't just have one service page that says you do mulch installation and expect to show up for mulch installation work. Replace that with any of your other services as well. So yes, it's clear someone needs mulch installation in this example, but there's so many questions that that individual searcher may have, right? How much mulch? Where are they located? What kind of mulch? What's the process? Can you do it annually? Or they may be a commercial lead that needs a ton of mulch. There's so much that we don't know with just that query, but yet a lot of people just make that type of search. So these are the type of questions and more that someone searching could have. So your page needs to anticipate them to better serve the searcher. And so you can see here in my example, I just searched mulch installation. And what is the common theme here? Every single one of these are pages dedicated to that. Grand Rapids, mulch installation. I can see it's not the homepage they're recommending. And sometimes they will still recommend the homepage, even if you've got the mulch installation page. But this right here is that proof, that evidence that, oh, yeah, this is what Google's looking for. So you don't want to necessarily create more of the same. You want to level up, raise the bar, create the best the internet has to offer searchers for what you offer. And so we're going to get into that and how to do that. So the very first section, the header, this is the area you see before you start scrolling. This should really pack a punch and not feel overwhelming. Your H1, your header, that's usually the biggest title that you see. This should state the service name and ideally even the area that you serve immediately, just to assure people they're in the right place and that you can help them. It's also really good to have a short description to clarify the benefits of the service, not necessarily describing the service itself, but kind of positioning the value of the service. So something like, enjoy your yard. Don't work for it. You want a call to action. That can be a form, a very simple form. It can be just a button to a form, but some people may be ready to go, ready to contact you. Don't make them scroll or search how to do that. It's a service page which should be sales oriented. On this page, you are welcome to brag about yourself a little bit. Show off your skills visually with imagery. Lastly, if you can add this design component, add quick links to sections of your service page so people can get to what they care about most quickly. So you can see here, we've got reviews, get started, why the client, service areas, their work, additional services, FAQs, just a very quick way to, somebody's going to see those and go, oh yeah, I want more of that. So next, reviews. Reviews should be somewhere on the page. I love to put them right under, maybe even showing up before you start scrolling down a page. And it's just incredibly valuable because while not everyone is going to be consciously thinking, is this a trustworthy company? Are they good at their job? It is your job to bring those questions to people, those objections that could be floating around in the back of their brain, bring them to the forefront and address them. Speak to them directly. It comforts people. So you want to be transparent and share a link to your Google business profile. Don't just like have the reviews, link to them to prove that you didn't just write them and put them on your website. Share names and images of the people if you can that left the reviews. Get a video if you can. Like, if it's hard to do, which that is hard to do, it's hard to ask a customer to sit down and record a video. But if it's hard, chances are it may be extremely valuable, especially in positioning you and getting more conversions from your page when you get that traffic. And I did mention even some of these screenshots, I was taking a fresh look at them like, hmm, this could be better. And these are a little dated now, but I do know with this client, we struggled for a little bit to convince them you have to be getting reviews more regularly. They weren't prioritizing it. They had some, they have good, strong reviews overall, but they didn't make it a part of their system at all. And so you can see here it says 1 year ago, 1 year ago, 1 year ago. Google doesn't like that. People don't like that because it's like you could be a different business 1 year ago. You could have been fantastic, but what, how good were you last week? Because I'm ready to talk to you today. So recency when it comes to reviews is absolutely huge. To make to button up that story, we did finally convince him to be soliciting for those reviews, and there's a lot of great ways that you can do that that we could potentially talk about later. And immediately we started seeing an uptick in their Google business profile visibility that was generating more quality traffic. So recency, consistency is good. Don't just go, oh, once a year, we're going to do a review campaign. Nope, don't do that. You got to get them when they're happy and keep it coming. All right, moving on. The service overview section. So you need to make it clear without having a huge wall of text, ideally, what is provided start to finish for the given service that of the page that you're working on. Even talk about what is not included because that creates more clarity for the person searching for Google or AI to understand your service. Try to keep it to 1 to 2 paragraphs or put it in bullet points. People don't want that wall of text. It creates more friction. And quite frankly, in most cases, people understand lawn care and landscaping services. If there's a lot to say, write a dedicated blog post and link to it. And that can be really, really beneficial. And there will be more on that later. Service categories are really important for helping your visitors and potential customers get to what they need more quickly. And it helps a lot with search engine visibility. Example would be, landscape design. You have a service page for that, which is great, but landscape design, that's huge. That can be a lot of different things. There's more specific services under that you may offer, like building retaining walls, lawn installation, walkways, patios, etc. And search engines understand that landscaping services or landscape design or the like could mean you're interested in a lot of different things. So a service page that has service categories with links to more details on those services is going to win because it's organized well and easy to navigate. So some customers are going to want to explore those specifically. Give it to them. Next up, service areas. These need to be listed to make it clear to the visitor and to search engines that you do provide the particular service to someone looking for it. So eventually, you may even want to build out specific service area pages. And this can be another really effective strategy for building pages that attract more leads and get you more visibility. But even just doing something as simple as this, the way that we did it here for this client was we broke it up just by county. People tend to know like, oh, what county I'm in, boom, I can find that. Then you can find like that they serve the municipality that you're in. It just gives people just a little bit more of that confidence because if they've arrived at your site, but you actually are pretty far away from them, they might think, oh, I don't know, and if these guys are, they're going to cost more, or I don't have the confidence that they're actually willing to come to me, even though I like everything else. So you got to put that out there. A why us section. Okay, this is huge. This is your chance to stand out. The rest of the page elements are honestly elements that any other lawn care or landscaping company can put on their page, and they should put on their page if they want to compete. So this is where you talk about what makes you different, better, brag, show off awards and recognitions, do something different. And honestly, it could be something as small but helpful as sending a text reminder that you'll be out for service the next day and letting them know that you do that right there, like putting that on the site. Just those tiny, tiny little micro interactions that make them go, huh, these guys are thoughtful. These guys are thorough. Um, you could even have some fun here with a quick, less than 60-second intro video of the owner or the team that would be providing the service or the first person your visitor would talk to if they got in contact with you. Like something that adds some personality, just removes that digital wall and it makes it feel a little bit more real, like, oh yeah, I can really work with this company because there's a human. I think honestly, I may be speaking for myself, but I'm paying attention to a lot of people online. There's some AI anxiety. I think people are like, ugh, like tired of like, oh, am I talking to AI? Is AI going to handle this? Like the way things are going, it's that personal touch, that experience that is going to set you apart. And that begins at your website. Next up, have a who is served section. Now, this may be silly. You may be thinking, like, isn't that obvious? Um, but this is where you can add that additional clarity to provide that you provide services to particular industries or even types of residential customers because there may be some customers, that you're just like, you know, we really work on, maybe you don't want to say it exactly like this, but homes that are typically, you know, worth $1 million or more, something like that. And there's gentle ways of saying that. But if that is a reality for you, you also want to make that clear. It by saying what you're not or who you don't help, you make it even more clear who you do help. But commercial searches typically means you've got experience serving a wide industry here, right? Of industrial, education, shopping centers, churches. You want to list those. When the right people see that, it just builds even more of that confidence and helps you stand out. You're communicating that we have helped people just like you, and that's so comforting. You could even link to dedicated pages for those industries. Those could even just be, kind of case studies like, hey, look what we did for this church, for this shopping center. And it immediately makes someone go, well, that's who I am. That's what I'm doing this for. I can't, can I choose anybody else now? That's what you want them to be thinking. So while people aren't always, but they sometimes do, they're not always going to search engines saying lawn care for a grocery store. The people that work at the grocery stores or are out there identifying that, let's say, they are searching lawn care services. And if they see you, if they've gotten to you, and then they see that you've worked with grocery stores, that is a game. I mean, just think about like a line graph. They're immediately like, well, and this it's the chances of you being the one they reach out to, it just skyrockets. And then here's another huge reality. If they are searching with an AI chatbot and that bot has that context, they know based on who they are that like, oh, this person works in a grocery store, works at a church, and they just go to that chatbot and say, hey, I'm looking for a local lawn care company to do XYZ services. It's got that context. You have it clear on your website. It makes that connection for you. It says, oh, well, hey, found this lawn care company that actually has served customers just like you. That's why it's so huge. Do not sleep on this one. Next up, um, case studies, work examples. Lawn and landscape is visual. Show them. Don't tell them you're good. Invest in great photography for the before and after. And honestly, if you can't invest in it, everybody's got a phone. Your crew's got a phone. tell them to do that. And I see that. I see that a lot. People are doing that. Something is better than nothing. And the reality is like people can spot stock photography from a mile away. More on that later. But you should even be creating case studies and projects that have dedicated pages showing off your experience on particular projects from start to finish. So yes, you want kind of a gallery, a collection of sorts here. Even it could be a video as well on your particular service page, and you want those images, those videos to connect to the service. It's also good just to have those dedicated pages as well. It helps visitors to enter that story of working with your company, right? The visual just communicates it all. They might even see a house or a lawn that looks like theirs, and they're just like, "Ooh, yeah, okay, I can see it now." Next up, FAQs. There are always common questions that you get pre-sale, pre-project, and even post-project. You need to call them out. Don't be afraid. Don't assume they were answered in any other areas of your page. Pack them in to an FAQ section. Now, this is where you answer questions about, cost, at least giving them a ballpark. This is something that we have noticed a ton. Google AI is really valuing transparency. And I know it can be hard to like truly tell them, here's what it's going to cost you for this service. But giving them some loose parameters, some maybe math to do is even a range is really, really helpful. It goes a long way. So on service pages, you want to make these buyer focused and less educational. You don't need to have an FAQ that says, how long does it take grass to grow? You can answer that on a blog post. Your goal of these is to make sure nothing else on the page goes unanswered. And you can even repeat yourself if you've said it somewhere else, because that FAQ section is a great place for people to just navigate to just get it all in one place and go, oh, yes, I haven't gotten a good answer on that. Oh, okay, I want to learn more about this because you've brought it to my attention for me. Again, that is huge. You're bringing something to their attention that they weren't thinking about, but is important to them. They go, oh, yeah, okay, I want to know that. That's a great experience. So, a great service page should do the selling for you. FAQs, crucial to that. This is one absolutely update more and more and more. And this does take some connection with sales, with the people on the phone. Like if you can get recordings of those, if you can have them jot it down, type it in somewhere, like what are the even the weirdest questions you get, throw them in there. Totally fine to do that. Next up, a how to get started section. So having something like this and not just a form, again, removes a ton of that mystery that people are more subconsciously presented with when they just see a form. So I see this all the time, a big quote request form, and that's it. No clarity on what happens when you fill out the form. And sure, we can argue, people, visitors, could take a good guess and they filled out forms before on the internet, but you want to reduce as much friction as possible. Don't give them even the tiniest reason not to fill out that form. So many people are seeing these forms and not filling them out because they're just not making it easy for them to do. Explain the process in 3 to 5 steps here, how to get started. Even make it clear who's on the other end. Am I going to get a phone call? Am I going to get an email back? Who am I talking to? Again, I look at this, and if we're talking about ad, edit, outcome, that's that consistency over time to get more visibility, to attract more people. I want to make this a video. I want to make this something where this guy here, Peter Parker, can say hi and you can like hear his voice. That just really again humanizes the experience a little bit. So if this is the guy who's going to be calling you, you want to create a very simple video. Honestly, it can be on your phone. It doesn't need to be high production. That's it. That's all you got to do. Lastly, this is the last part of the website service section here. Add blogs and videos to help people understand what it's like to work with you in more detail, or add educational pieces about your services to back up what it is you do. One of our biggest success stories over the last 5, 6 years is getting thousands of hydro seeding leads for one of our clients. And this happened because we created great service pages, just like I was talking about, and but it wasn't just the service pages. We also created really, really strong blog posts all about hydro seeding. They ranked at one point, they just ranked not globally, nationally for the word hydro seeding. They showed up number one, and they're just a local business. They didn't need to show up number one, but they showed up number one over Wikipedia, actually. And that's because they had more helpful information. They had videos, pictures, all the details about the best time to do it, hydro seeding versus sod, everything. All the topics that we found people were looking for, all the questions and deep dives. And what this did is it created dominance and generated more leads for them than ever because we added those blog posts to the service pages and Google looked at them for local searches. When people were searching in their service areas, for, hydro seeding company, hydro seeding services near me, all the little variations. Google was like, well, these guys are the experts. They have fantastic content. Because the reality is, yeah, a lot of people searching hydro seeding services don't need to read a hydro seeding 101 blog. But if there's one person that wants that experience on their buying journey and you can offer that to them and and offer them the best experience the internet has to offer, that's providing something that nobody else can. You know what I'm saying, Keely? Keely's like shaking her head. She knows what client I'm talking about. All right. Keely, should I pause? Are there any questions that I should answer at this point, or we want to save them for later?
Not seeing any questions coming in right now, but if you have
Awesome.
any, feel free to drop them in the chat or the QA.
Wonderful. Everyone's shy, or I'm doing flawlessly. One or the other. All right. 5 quick SEO fixes for improved visibility. I'm going to take a quick sip of my coffee. This is about my fourth or fifth cup. I have a problem. But I don't do cream and sugar. So it's like there's no calories. Like, is that really a problem?
Mm, I don't know if that counts, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a topic for another time. All right. Here's just 5 quick SEO fixes that some of these you could actually fix today. Some of these maybe take a little bit more work, but it's probably something that is in your control. Um, we're going to go through these with some images here. So I'll just get right into it. Add as many specific services as you provide to your Google business profile. Too many people sleep on the Google business profile, and we are seeing it is becoming more and more valuable. Google is pushing that thing because it's unique. It's an asset that they own that AI just cannot touch. It's a different experience. So you can see here, and in a search for something like fall cleanup, there's 3 companies in the Google business profile. It's called the map pack or the local pack. You've seen it when you see this when you search local intent keywords. These two say provides fall leaf cleanup or fall cleanups. This one does not. That is simply just because this company did not put that in their profile. There's a spot in Google Business profile to just freely list out every single service as detailed as possible. So you need to do that. It's a gimme. Add a booking link that goes directly to your form. Once again, it's one of those that Google Business Profile is adding and changing things all the time. And like there's just a lot of fields and elements of that profile that are easy to miss. And we see this one a lot. And this just needs to go directly to your contact or request a quote page or whatever it is. Link that in, then it becomes way more visible in Google's experience so people can get to that quickly. And the reality is, it's like they may be ready, and Google even lets you know when that gets clicked. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites. Add a free estimate to your page titles. So this is something that you have control over. You get to decide. Google will sometimes change it for particular reasons, but you can set what this big blue link looks like in Google. And this is also, again, what AI is referencing as well. When you add something like this, it stands out. It stands out. And probably most people provide a free estimate, but it's something about the word free that people love. People will gravitate to. Wow, that click over all the others. Send an automated email or text to the quote estimate requests. So the job is not done once they've filled out the form, okay? You want to reassure them that we got it and we're on it. If you're not immediately calling them within 5 minutes, which you should be, speed to lead matters. I don't care what industry you're in. I've seen all the studies on that. We've learned that as well. You can at least control a little bit of that experience with just a quick little, hey, we got you. We're gonna be following up in within X number of hours ideally, and then make it happen. Add photos to your Google Business profile. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. Photos actually taken from your project sites on a mobile device have metadata about their location. So if you were to open up your phone, look at your photos, go to like the settings, I don't know where you go exactly, maybe Keely, you know, but it shows you, it literally gives you like the coordinates of where the photo was taken. When you upload that directly to your Google Business profile, Google also has that information. What that does, what that is communicate to Google that you are actually active and out there doing the work in these places. Back that up with getting reviews from people that live and work in these actual places. That is the proof that is necessary. Because here's the reality: while building these fantastic service pages, this great website experience is absolutely crucial, if we're all doing it, if all the landscaping and lawn care companies are doing it, and then every single website on the internet is just fantastic, who's going to win? It's the one that's consistently out there proving that they are day in and day out delivering amazing work and making that as clear as possible to people online wherever they search. So that's why that's so, so, so big. Figure out, build in a system for motivate them, give them a reason to take those before afters and get them added every single time. All right, these are kind of more like rapid fire 10 proven do's and don'ts to attract qualified leads. So here's some quick do's here. Put your phone number front and center. Don't make people hunt for it. I see, once again, I see this all the time too. In your navigation bar, like put at the top, put at the footer. Sometimes people want to call. And also let them know if they can text you. That's huge. People do want to text, like say call or text. That's fantastic. Don't make people hunt for it. Um, Number two, put the faces of your people on your website. People love seeing people. But once again, it removes that mystery and immediately can make you more likable, approachable. People can better see themselves working when they see the people behind the brand. It's not just this faceless brand. It's like, oh, these people look really nice. Yeah, I would like to give them my money now that I think that they would also do a good job, you know? Add some, it's okay to add some personality behind it too. Have an about section. Put the names of the people doing the work on your website. Don't be afraid to try new things. Once again, add edit outcomes. We see this all the time when we're experimenting, trying to just make things even more fun. It goes a long way in getting more visibility and more leads. Number three, solicit reviews. Put them on your website. I mentioned again, if people have a good experience, get them to tell your story. You can even give them a kind of a prompt like, hey, here's what we did for you. Here's where we provided service. This is, maybe something that you could say. You can also, I've heard of this before. Um, Reach out to them and let them know that your service team um, gets bonuses or a little something extra when they do a fantastic job, and that is clear to us when you leave a review. So you can tip your team by leaving us a review. And that feels really like special to go, oh man, I do like the job they did. And what I can give a $20 tip or whatever it is. And then, actually you should actually do it. Don't just say you're going to do it. And that people go the extra mile more often than not with the review that they leave, which is great. Also, do not let your reviews go a long time without responses. You can respond to reviews. You should be responding to all of your reviews. And again, add that context. Don't make them all exactly the same and very robotic. And obviously there's, some confidentiality. You're not going to just say, name the address. It was great serving you at, don't do that. Um, and number four, convey your culture. Be goofy. Stand for something, have a personality, share a goofy photo of your team and add the words like something like, the only lawn care company with Crazy Kevin, the guy on your team that just won't quit until you're blown away. Again, AI is a great resource for if that's what you stand for, is that you have some fun, you've got some people on the team that are a little bit of fun, show that off on your website too. Or if there's a cause that you really, really stand for, there's a good and a bad way to make that front and center on a website. Sometimes it can be overdone. I've seen it overdone before, but there's great ways to just like go, oh, okay, once again, this is a human. There's humans behind this brand, and they care about something. I saw a company recently switch to all EV vehicles, and so that's a big part of their marketing now. They're like, wait, no emissions, at least for on the driving side of thing. So little things like that. Um, Lastly, track the success of your website with Google Analytics. This is a very common phrase that we say. We can't improve what we don't measure. First time a company comes and talks to us, we say, do you have Google Analytics? They usually don't know. We check, maybe they do, but most importantly, it can be on there, but you have to manually set up what's called events. And events are the things that you care the most about. Clicks to call, form fills. Those are the most common events that we're looking for. If we know if those are tracked so that when they happen, we can follow that user's session and go, oh yeah, they came from that service page that we did work on, then we can connect the dots and we can help you at continue, add, edit, and get more of those outcomes that you're looking for. So track the success. Again, something we can absolutely help with. Uh, Quick don'ts. Don't force your visitors to fill out long forms. I already said this one, but please don't put too much information. The fewer things, at least in the initial form, the higher the conversion rate, more often than not. So this one again, but again, worth saying, don't simply just list your services on one service page. That's not going to cut it. Um, don't use stock photos. We all know what stock photos look like. People can sniff them out, and it just conveys that you're just a little vanilla, a little boring, and not taking that extra effort. And if that's what you convey on your website, what does that say about your services? Now, you may have great services, but your website won't communicate that well with stock photos. And quite frankly, even if your mobile device photos don't look as good as those stock photos, the real photos, the authenticity behind that, that's more important, way more important. Number four, again, if I'm sounding like a broken record, it's because there's a theme here. Don't let your website collect dust, meaning, again, the work is never over. Keep doing those ads and edits, the right things, some of the things that we've talked about, and you will get more desired outcomes. You will grow by 20%. One of the big things, we have a lot of companies that we work with that are part of Jeffrey Scott's mastermind, and a lot of their mission is like $10 million company. That's what we talk about with our clients. What do we have to do in our control and our expertise and our ability to get things done to get you to become a $10 million company? You can't let your website collect dust. I can tell you that if you want to get there. Um, Number five, make your customer hunt for the basics. Who, where, how much cost. Put it all front and center. Make it easy to navigate. That's, those little nice to haves, not always necessary that I talked about earlier with like quick links on a service page. Like, oh, okay, boom, I can get to that because I care about that. Everyone's search journey, everyone's website journey is unique. You've got to deliver. All right. Wow, we unless we have like a lot of questions, and that's totally fine if we do. I think we're doing great on time. I probably talked too fast, probably should have toned it down on the coffee. That's okay. But let's just recap here. Okay. Create top-notch service pages. These are crucial to more visibility and leads. Measure your outcomes. If you don't know that the ads, the edits, the updates to service pages or anything else is working. And again, that's why, we have built a tool that measures all of that. It won't all work right away, but keep going. Your effort will be rewarded. I promise you. Never settle. Continuously scour the internet, benchmark your website and its elements against others to raise the bar. We often say what we are trying to produce, and it's not always, most often, it's not the first go around, the best the internet has to offer. For something as simple as like, yes, mulch installation for those searching in Grand Rapids. Can we have the best experience that the internet has? And then you do that one at a time for all your other services, and you will see a brand be elevated. Lastly, I heard this recently, and I thought if people are at this webinar, I think they should hear this. And this punches me in the gut. Ambition without action becomes anxiety. I'm going to say that again. Ambition without action becomes anxiety. If you're here, you're probably ambitious. You probably want to grow your landscaping company, or that's part of your role, it's part of your job. You have some ambition. Take action because without it, that's where anxiety will come. You absolutely talk to Keely or I. We'll have some contact information. We do help lawn care and landscaping companies of all sizes and budgets. Doesn't matter where you are. We just start with a conversation, a free audit. But at the same time, go do it yourself too. It's super important to get to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty sometimes. And if you're here for that, that's great too. We want you to learn from us. That is good for our brand, that you learned something, and I hope you did. Last, before we close out, and we do have a quick survey for attendees. Any questions? Keely, did any come in? Do you have any questions that you want to pose?
No questions coming to mind, and
Okay.
no questions coming from the chat as of right now.
Wow. Okay. Well, that makes it simple. We have no questions then. All right. Last here, I want to thank everybody for coming. Tell us what you really thought. You can scan this with your phone right now. We'll also email the survey as well. This is my personal email address, lance@avalangegr.com. You can also go to avalangegr.com to learn more about us. Like I said, we do free SEO audits where we'll take a look at your website, your service pages, and just attack them and say, here's what we do. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Yes, we do also just build, most of our landscaping clients actually end up building new websites with us. We're not always pushing that. Sometimes we want to work with what you have and get you good leads first. It is speed to lead for us too, because then you have trust, you understand that like this will work with them. Then you go, okay, help me build this to last. Um, yeah, and if that's it, I just want to thank everybody for coming. I'll give you 10 more minutes of your time back. Use that to go update your Google business profile with some photos or something.
Yeah, yep.
Great. Well,
We
thanks everybody.
will, yeah, thank you. We will also be sending a copy of the recording, as Lance said, along with some additional like nice to have resources from our team. But yeah, as Lance said, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Think we might have one. Best way to set up an appointment. Email Lance or I.
Oh, yes. Yeah, right here. Lance@avalangegr.com.
Yes.
That'll do it. I'll bring in Keely. We'll have a conversation.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody.